The Last Guardian is a game that has me conflicted after playing it. On the one hand, its brilliant story and the pure art is simply breathtaking as you would expect from Fumito Ueda and Team Ico, but on the other hand, the lack of challenge, poor camera and jumping controls and just piss poor frame rate are something that really drag the experience down. So what is The Last Guardian all about? Well, it's about a boy that ends up in a strange and harsh land and you befriending a wild beast called Trico. At first the beast is against you, but after a short amount of time you became inseparable. The game essentially is all about making a bond with Trico and it's a tale about camaraderie. And the game really excels at this part. You really connect with Trico and by the end of the game I genuinely cared about his well-being. You're going to take arrows from his back, pet him and feed him. The gameplay is mainly solving very crude and simple environmental puzzles combining Trico and the environment and an item in some cases. There's climbing in this game, jumping to grass, walls, chandeliers and all sorts of environmental crap. You destroy colored mirror things because Trico fears those things. At certain points in the game, the beast will lie down on the ground because he's hungry and you'll have to feed him. There's combat in the game, but you're just a boy and you can't fight. So in most fights, Trico will take care of the enemies for you. I like how later in the game enemies start carrying those colored mirror things I talked about earlier, and it's up to you to rush into them in order for them to release the mirror and be open for Trico to attack them. I like how after fights Trico will be upset and you have to calm him by feeding him and petting him. It's really bond making stuff. You can hop onto Trico and he has the ability to jump higher and reach places otherwise unreachable to you. The Last Guardian's puzzles are simplistic, but it's okay since the main focus of the game is a depiction of you making a bond with him. And you really do. Trico is fucking amazing. I really loved him after just spending half an hour in the game. And eventually he'll like you too. But the game has problems. Serious problems. You can issue basic commands to Trico, but the beast just seems to have a mind of its own, and it's sometimes difficult to make him go where you need him to be. Another problem are the controls. They're poor and the jumping is really awkward. The constant reoccurring enemy in the game is the camera. It's your greatest enemy. Man, it's so bad that I just can't explain it in words. You have to really experience it for yourself just to understand how bad it is. Another big problem is the frame rate. Listen, The Last Guardian was a game with a troubled development cycle. I understand that. It's essentially a PlayStation 3 game made to look prettier for the PlayStation 4 system, and it shows. The architecture and art style are gorgeous and jaw-dropping at times. But the actual graphics, that's a mixed bag. Sometimes sometimes you'll see a really detailed texture sitting alongside a really low quality one. It's funny. And the frame rate. I understand this was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 games and you would expect it to wouldn't have frame rate issues on the platform it ended up, the PlayStation 4, but it has major problems. The frame rate regularly drops like crazy. I dare to say even below 20 frames per second, especially in the outside sections. When you get outside, it starts to feel chuggy as fuck. I mean, you can finish the game, but it's not game breaking, but it's really noticeable. The Last Guardian is a good game, but not for the current price. I'd say wait for a price drop and then get it. It's a good game with a great feeling of camaraderie and bonding with Trico. It has a great story, but its simplistic gameplay and poor performance prevent it from becoming a true masterpiece. Score 7.1 out of 10.